Trying to get the nostril hairs in. Welcome back to my channel, my friends. First of all, I want to say thank you so much. All of you guys have been absolutely amazing to each other. You've been so supportive, and I always read my comment section. Like if someone shares like a story of theirs, I can see how encouraging the rest of you are towards that person, and that makes me so happy, and I'm so grateful. So thank you so much for sharing the love. This video is going to be about the 5 things that really changed my health. I'm talking about mental, physical, social health. Health is wealth. Let's get wealthy. I'm going to turn this whole thing into like a Tony Robbins thing. I'll end up being like Gary Vee, Tasha, Oshi. That's all. Number 1 is don't listen to know-it-alls. I call them know-it-alls because I've met a few people in the past where someone could say something with such confidence and be wrong, and I would still believe them. It took me a little while to start thinking critically and actually look at the message that they were saying rather than how they were saying it. And there's an amazing saying that goes something along the lines of, the more you know, the more you realise that you don't know that much. It's something along the lines, I think I've got it wrong, I'll put the quote on the screen. I really became so aware of this when I went to do my PhD at UCL, and I was in one of the best labs for mass spectrometry in the world. I was surrounded by some Nobel Prize winners, creme de la creme, amazing professors, and they were always the ones who were the most down to earth. They would say what we knew so far, like they would be like, oh, we have research that points to this, but we can't know for sure, which is why when I make my Science Explained videos, I feel bad because I want to come to like a solid answer, and it's so rare that I come up with like a straightforward answer. Most of the time it's like, yes, in these situations we observe this, but that doesn't mean that we can draw those conclusions for this type of population. So I feel like it's really important to get your information from people who are like that, who know that we don't have an answer for everything, and that it's just important to keep learning and be open-minded. In life, I've just kind of come to this stage where if someone comes to me and they say something with such confidence, they're like,
no, Natasha, I'm telling you, this is it. This is the hard truth. You gotta believe me.
See, this is why I struggle, because I struggle to say a full sentence confidently without screwing it up. And they're like, no, this is the answer. Like, there's nothing else. I immediately think, hang on a second. I think you've underestimated how complicated the subject matter is, because if you really understood, then you'd know that you can't say that with such confidence, because some people can say something that's completely wrong in a really convincing tone, and then all of a sudden we're like, oh, they're so confident, they must be right. But that's not always the case. And there are experts that have all of the qualifications in a certain area that have a specific opinion. But then there are also experts that have all those qualifications in that certain area that have an opposing opinion. It's important to see 2 sides of the story, and then you'll be in a much better position to come up with a decision yourself, for yourself. So yeah, I think it's really important to be critical and not to always listen to people who they know the answer to everything and they say it really confidently. I'm not saying that they're wrong, I'm just saying listen to the message that they're saying, and then, you know, fact check them. Be like, hey, hang on. The next one is getting the basics right. Laying the foundations, and then we can start building. Having like strong foundations in terms of like setting ourselves up for being a healthy person, for me, end up being sleep, nutrition, and training. And I get so many people asking me like, oh, what supplements should I take? Should I eat these particular meals, like at what times, etc. And I always come back to asking them, are they getting enough sleep? Are they eating properly? And are they training smart? And if not, then those are the things we need to sort out first before we try and find any quick fixes or any supplements. Sleep deprivation is the cause of so many diseases and illnesses that it's scary, actually, and has made me take it way more seriously. Because when I was younger, I was like, I can function on 5 hours. You guys, you might need 8 hours, that's fine.
I need 5.
You know, hustler over here. That actually did work for like 6 years, until like 4 years ago, I crashed. Like I literally hit rock bottom, and it didn't matter how long I slept, no amount of sleep was long enough for me. I definitely hit like a crash where I just couldn't handle things. I can't find my keys. Breakdown. I ran out of my favourite cereal. Breakdown. I just couldn't handle these things. I definitely feel like firsthand I've noticed what happens when I give myself incredible amounts of sleep deprivation. But even in terms of hitting specific goals, like muscle building, it's really important to hit all those 4 stages, because that's when we get the biggest surge of growth hormone to help you build your muscles. Same with fat loss. If you want to lose fat, it's important to get sleep, because if you're sleep deprived, your hormones leptin and ghrelin change. It means that you feel hungrier and less satisfied. So what happens is you eat more calories than your body actually needs. Also, it raises your stress hormone cortisol, which makes it harder for your body to lose fat because you're in like a stressed mode. Also, for mental health, sleep is so important for mental health. I can't tell you how many emails I get, probably every day, sometimes twice a day. CBD oil companies, do you want to do this collab? Do you want to do this collab? It's really good for anxiety, it's really good for mental health. And I'm not saying that it's not, because I haven't looked at the science, so I can't come up with a conclusive answer. But I just feel like if our sleep is down to a T and we're nailing our sleep, then we can start looking at other things. Nutrition is the same. Like, I think it's really important to have a balanced, varied diet. I personally don't take vitamins. Like, why would I take vitamins? I have a balanced, varied diet. I get all of the vitamins and minerals that I need from my diet. Now, if I was vegan, I would take vitamin B12, but I'm not, so I don't. And there are some supplements that you might need to take depending on what your diet is like. But for me, I eat everything, so I get everything in, and I don't feel like I need to supplement. And then the last basic is training. So making sure that we're training smart. And training smart for me is about making sure that every minute is going towards your goal. It does take a little bit of expertise, so if you're just starting out, be selective and thoughtful of who you're getting your information from. Make sure that it's scientifically based so that you're getting in the right information and you're following the right programming for your goal. So I think getting the basics right in terms of sleep, nutrition and training are super important before we even start to consider anything about supplements. And if you do have all of those 3 things, then you can start looking at taking your training to that extra 1%, like making yourself a tiny little bit better through supplementation, and a dietitian can help you with that. Just be aware of that and don't have supplement FOMO. Number 3 is that results are based on your average day. So there's not a huge amount to elaborate here. I spend a lot of my time eating on average highly nutritious foods. I train on average 3 to 5 hours a week, and I sleep on average 7 to 9 hours a night, not a week, of sleep. So I feel like on average I'm leading a lifestyle that makes me look on average physically active, and I feel mentally healthy, physically healthy, and all round I feel good, because on average my lifestyle is pretty good. So that's why I made that video last week about overeating 1,000 calories every day for a week. And I've also made videos in the past of the science of detraining, because our bodies like stability, and your body puts in place mechanisms to keep your body fit for what is usually a typical day. Even if you're not having a typical day, it has so many mechanisms that I didn't even go into or elaborate on, and it's just absolutely amazing. I can't really deal with it. Sometimes I think of these things, it blows my mind, and then I just think, hail science. Give me 5 minutes, I'm just gonna think about it for a sec, and we'll move on to the next tip. Tip number 4 is that better should make you happy. It's good to make a change in our lives if it makes us feel good, but the moment where we start feeling unhappy, long-term unhappy, that's a big warning sign that maybe what you're doing is not quite right for you, because it shouldn't make you feel unhappy. You should be trying to get better, but not to the point where it makes you feel really unhappy. I use my diet as an example. You guys know my diet consists of mostly nutritiously dense foods, but also some less nutrient dense foods. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. Does it work in helping me achieve my goals in terms of my business? Yes. Does it mean that I'm still healthy in terms of medical checks? Yes. I could try and optimize it and be really meticulous and look through it and really try and make it that 1000% better, but I've tried that and it makes me so unhappy. So the way I've got it now is the point at which I feel happy long term. And there are extreme circumstances. I've had times where for a week I'll sleep 4 hours a night because I'm launching a new startup, or I have a Science Explained video. Those videos take me a really long time. I love making them. In the moment, I feel kind of unhappy with the decision of sleeping 4 hours a night, but it's an exceptional circumstance. So I think it's important to kind of just be aware of when it is appropriate to deviate from that balance. But if it's making you long-term unhappy, then it's important to make a change. The next one is a perfect body won't make you happy. And I'm talking about perfect as in like perfect aesthetic, like physical appearance. And I'm not saying that people who have like a perfect body aren't happy. I just feel like they don't get their happiness from having a perfect body. Like that's not the cause of their happiness. I feel like happiness is something way deeper than that. Like it comes from being fulfilled with who we are, what we've achieved, putting ourselves into something, or making like a dramatic change to someone's life, helping alleviate some of their pain and having a really deep emotional connection with someone. That can make you feel really happy. Achieving the body that you love and then maintaining that takes a lot of work, and there are consequences to that. And the energy that you're using to make something perfect could be used to change someone's life or to really connect with who you are. Having tunnel vision and focusing on small details that only affect your life means that you miss out on what's going on around you and how you can contribute to it. So I think it is important to kind of find happiness from something else, because I thought that I was going to be happy with a perfect body. Even when I hit that perfect body, I was never happy because that wasn't where the source of my happiness was coming from. So until I really found what it was, I was never going to achieve that happiness, and I was just kind of wasting my time. So that kind of really changed my life, because that's when I started realizing how I could help people, and that me worrying about an extra, I don't even know what it was, like an extra centimetre off my waist wasn't going to make a single difference to anyone else's life. Now I feel like I've really found my true calling. Like I absolutely love what I do. I'm extremely grateful. These tips, honestly, like they literally changed my life. They make me such a healthier person, not just socially but mentally and physically. And I don't know, I hope they also help change your lives as well, even if it's not all 5 of them, because some of them might not be relevant for you, but some of them might be. So just take on board what you think is relevant for you. And yeah, thank you guys so much for hearing me out. I hope you guys found that helpful. I don't know why I speak so much with my hands. I'm crossing them right now. I don't know if I can talk. Isn't that weird? So yeah, if you guys like this video, please give me a big thumbs up. I'm gonna have to do it. A big thumbs up. Please hit this. Give me a big thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. Let me know what you thought. I love you guys. I'll see you very soon. Love ya. Bye.